Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to our fire prevention seminar. We're so glad that you could make it. We're all going to learn a lot of valuable information and we're really excited. And our first speaker is going to be Brian McGrath from the Ventura County Fire Department. Brian, take it away.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me in here today. Appreciate you coming. We do have some good snacks, so if you're watching it, you're missing out. Just a real quick, we're here to talk a little bit about Ready, Set, Go, and included in that is hardening your home. And that's for this packet that we have, they're going to have here in the office is designed for wildfires. However, this can be used for any emergency at any time because we can have other types of emergencies. We saw that monsoon. Saw the flooding in Montecito, we have earthquakes, so getting yourself ready is the #1 step within this guide. So first we'll start with your home since we're here at real estate. There's a lot of good information in here. We'll talk real briefly about hardening your home. If you're within a ½ mile of an open space, that's going to put you in a critical zone that you're going to be mandated to have a good fuel clearance. If you're right up against the brush, you're going to need 100 feet of brush clearance towards your home. If your brush on your property happens to brush up against someone else's house within that 100 feet, it is your responsibility to clear your land for that other structure. Including in with those structures, we're talking about homes. That does not include a gazebo for around a pool or spa, but it does include infrastructure. Infrastructure would be solar panels that are put out in the hillsides. You would need to clear. That's not 100 feet. You're only going to need 50 for that. If you're out in a more rural area and you have a propane tank, again, you have to clearance around that propane tank because that's going to be infrastructure. All those things are kind of listed on this Ready, Set, Go packet. But if you're not able to get here and see that, you can go to vcfd.org. And find that information as well as Ready Ventura County. So along with the clearing your brush, there's new guidelines that are coming out from the state about having different vegetation and fuel around your house. There's a new clearance requirement coming out from the state that'll be, they don't want anything within 5 feet that's flammable. You're going to be speaking with Kyler later on and about some great vegetation that is drought resistant as well as resilient against the heats. And that's going to be good brush to plant. Again, you can go to Ready Ventura or you can go to vcfd.org to see what vegetation is illegal to plant in Ventura County in those certain severity zones because they're just too dry. They dry out and they get too bushy and they just spread fire way too much. So we actually do have some vegetation that you're not allowed to plant at all in Ventura County. So looking at your house, some real quick, easy tips. When you look at your home and you walk around it, when you see a pile of leaves or dust bound up in a corner or on your eaves, that's a good indication that the wind is blowing things into that area. So when you're thinking about that, go, oh, you know what? I keep my lawn furniture there. Well, that means if there is a fire, those embers are going to fall where your lawn furniture is at. So it's not a good idea to keep things that are going to be flammable in that area. Move your flammable material away from those areas and keep an eye on those areas and what accumulates. Along with that, as you look up your home, is your rain gutters cleared out? Do you have a bunch of leaves and debris in your rain gutters? Are your drainages within your roof lines? Are there debris there? You want to clear all those dead leaves out, and that does a few things for you. If water collects during the off fire season, you're going to have constant wet and mildewy, which will eventually start to do damage to your house. When your rain gutters aren't cleared out, they're not doing their job. They're there to move water to the location you want to put it. And with that, I mean, you could even throw that water nowadays into a rain barrel to catch it and use it to water your grass. As we continue to look up your home, what kind of roof material do you have? Is it non-flammable? There's very few houses left in Ventura County that have a wood shake shingle roof. But believe it or not, there still are, and we actually do have an insurance person that's going to be speaking in a little bit. And he will tell you that he probably will not insure you if you have a wood shade shingle roof. Is that about right?
You know what? You're right.
It's pretty close.
That's such a weird.
So it's amazing if they're still out there, but if you have it, you need to remove it, and that is extreme fire hazard. So as you're looking at your property, again, watch the sides of it and the areas and where things accumulate and the brush. If you have a firewood pile, cannot be next to your home. Even if you're not in these severity zones, move it away from your house. Those larger incidents like the Thomas and Woolsey, we saw embers flying 1 to 2 miles. And that was starting fires in a home where it landed on the trash can and it moved up the trash can into the eaves. They had a lot of debris and a lot of accumulation. So even if you're not in these severity zones, keep the trash and litter away from your houses, move it away. Don't put it next to your neighbor's house. And people laugh about that, but think about this. If you catch their house on fire, now your house has a good chance of catching on fire. So it's by you doing a good job to protect your home, you're helping to save your neighbor's houses as well as them saving yours. So it's all a team effort that we have going on here. That's a little bit of home hardening tips. Again, you go to vcfd.org for all that great information, as well as Ready Ventura County. Next, we're going to talk a little bit. Oh, one more thing about ready. Get yourself ready. You need to have a bag so you're ready to leave. The 6 P's, the important items that you want to carry with you. If we're in a fire hazard area and you see smoke, have your car backed into your driveway. Along with Ready, go to vcalert.org, and that website is going to give you the ability to register multiple addresses that will give you a notice if there's an evacuation. So it's readyventura.org. I personally have my home, my place of work. I know it sounds silly because I'm a firefighter, but still my place of work, my kids' school, and my kids' work. That way, if anything goes on, I will get a text, an email, and a phone call regarding, hey, this address has evacuation around it. You can't go there. And then they'll say, go to vcemergency.com for more information. Reason I do all of them is they're out of the severity zone, but we have accidents in the area. We have hazardous materials that travel through Ventura County, and there's many reasons that you might be evacuated or road closed. So that gives me the indication that I can talk to my family and my children to keep them safe. When we move on now to set. Okay, so now we're all ready to go. We see smoke. There's smoke in the area. There was a large accident. There was an earthquake. Get yourself set. You got your bag. Go ahead and put your bag in the car. Grab some extra water, some extra food. Have all your family ready to go. Stay calm and be cool and collective. So that way, if you have to go, then you're ready to go. But get yourself set. By having everything ready in the first column, when you're getting set, it's really quick and really easy. Because now you can watch the news. You can go to our Twitter page at VCFD_PIO, where my team's going to be sharing information about the incident that's developing. Let you know, go to vcemergency.com to see the incident map, evacuations, road closures, shelters, large animal shelters. That way you get all the information. You as a person can make a best situational analysis assessment to keep you and your family safe. Don't wait for us to tell you to leave. If you feel unsafe and the smoke is pushing down on you over your home and you feel a little weird about being there, you know what? Get your family. You got everything already ready. Get set and put everything in the car, and then we're gonna go grab lunch. We're gonna go to Dave and Buster's. We're gonna go to a meeting place that we've set up under Ready about, hey, you know what? If we get separated, we want to go to this area. So that way everyone can come back to a certain area. Don't wait for us because you've looked at the fire map, you've watched this and go, you know what? The fire is moving this way a little bit. I don't feel like breathing this smoke. I have an elderly person that's going to take me longer to get out. I have large animals that I need to evacuate that take me more time. So if I get an evacuation warning, that's gonna be quick. We need you out now. Whereas I have a couple extra things that will slow me down. I'm gonna start working towards that now. And being able to have those assessments and having all that game plan pre-set up, it makes, for me personally, it really calmed me down a lot. I know my family's ready. I know they know where to go. And they're just ready to go. It makes life a lot easier. And let's see. So again, the Ready, Set, Go packet, you can find it at vcfd.org, and it's under there, as well as Ready Ventura County. They have information and tips on there. We do have some shelters that are set up throughout Ventura County they're always going to try to be the shelter locations there. But we have some great new partnerships here in Ventura. So a little small shelter could be set up that you're not aware of. Again, you can find that information at vcemergency.com. If you go to vcemergency.com right now, you're going to find some COVID information and older information. Once an incident happens is when that starts ramping up for that incident. But until that gets started going, follow us on Twitter at VCFD_PIO, and that's where we're going to be sharing out a bunch of information. If you happen to not use Twitter and you're not on social media and you'll do the occasional website, our website's set up to where you at vcfd.org. If you go to the upper left-hand column side on the front homepage, you're going to see active calls. You can click that link and it'll take you to a page on our website. Within that website, it's got an app called Pulse Point. That's a third-party app. With that app, you can actually listen to some of the radio traffic from the active calls going on. If you're unsure how to use that, we have a how-to on that same page for how to download it onto your phone, how to click what you want to listen to. But you can also look to the left of that screen, and it's our Twitter page. So you can physically watch the incident growing from our Twitter posts without actually having Twitter. That's going to be our primary means for any larger incident for sharing that information. And again, that's all on vcfd.org. We hope everyone stays safe and have a happy and safe 4th of July weekend, as well as take care of yourselves and your family.
Extend, is it a good idea? I've heard sometimes to put a screen over your gutters to keep the gutters from filling up. Is that?
So the question is it a good idea to put a screen over your gutters to protect them from filling up? I would say yes. So, but the problem is it a plastic screen? Because now the plastics, if you use a plastic screen, which they do make, an ember can fall on that and that can melt and get hot and catch on fire and spread. So if you do use one, I would recommend having a metal one. But it's just kind of depends upon the size of the leaves, what you have going on. I have seen them work really well, but I've also seen them just accumulate leaves on your roof now. So it's the best game plan is to clean them on a regular basis, depending on your home, twice a year or once a year, depending on what you have.
So in real estate, which is what we do, we have when a property transfers from a seller to a buyer, there's a new AB 38, I believe it is, and we have a disclosure called our fire hazard safety and defensible space addendum, something, or advisory. We're required to order, if it's in a very high fire or a fire zone, a report from you. Can you tell us about how that works? Are they doing it from satellite? Are they driving around the property?
So she's asking about the AB 38 that just came out, that's coming from the state. And we're having to enforce it here in Ventura County, as well as everywhere throughout the state of California. And CAL FIRE has dictated these severity zones. And luckily, though, they've given the ability to the local agencies to adjust those zones for if the severity is and where it's at based on weather conditions, new development projects, and things that are moving. But what it does is right now are the programs where we've been enforcing the weed abatement about clearing your brush because you're within a half mile. That went to about 18,000 parcels that we inspect every year. The AB 38 is going to go to 65,000 parcels. And what, as a real estate, what's being asked is the fire department's contacted and we come out and we inspect that residence for compliance within the AB 38 rules. Again, if you want more information on those rules, you can go to vcfd.org and put in AB 38 and you'll be able to find the information. You can actually even click on the address you're looking for and it'll zoom in and show you what severity zone, if any, that you're in.
Great, thank you. Oh, and then on large animals, since we live in a pretty equestrian area, what's best to do if, it's coming in your area to, like on Tierra Rajada, when they had the fires, somebody just let out horses and they're flying down Tierra Rajada on their own. What should somebody do?
Well, so the question is, when you have large animals in an area, how do you protect them? That kind of goes back to the ready, set, go a little bit. If you're a homeowner, you have the large animals, get them ready and have a game plan set for when an incident starts. She mentioned the Easy Fire a few years ago off of Tierra Rajada, where that fire was so quickly moving that the homeowners that own those horses weren't even in the area. In that case, it was safer to open the gates and let the horses out so they can flee. Because if not, sometimes what will happen is when they're stuck in their stalls, they will struggle and hurt themselves greater than if they're able to run away. We do not recommend doing that. Please let the first responders take care of doing that because they're going to be well prepared to be able to make the judgment whether or not we need to evacuate the horses in that manner. Because that does create a large issue with traffic. They're running across freeways and highways, as well as for the owners of those animals. They're unable to find them for many hours or days. So we want to make sure that we don't just open stalls and let them go. It is a calculated, measured move that is done purposefully.
Great, thank you. Other questions? Yeah. Thank you. Great.
Thank you so much, Brian McGrath, Captain, Ventura Fire Department. Appreciate all the information.